Welcome back to Daytona. After 14 of 200 laps, Bobby Labonte's Pontiac leads the Chevys of Jeff Gordon and Mike Skinner and the Ford of Dale Jarrett. Yesterday, a really crash-marred Napa 300. Most all the drivers watched it from atop their motor coaches or trailers. Dick Berger, and that made for a very serious and somber drivers meeting this morning.
It really did, Mike Joy. They were very concerned and very worried. And indeed, this morning, first thing in the garage, crew chiefs were just saying, I hope we don't have a repeat. Now, we've had an awful lot of crashes here, an awful lot of accidents. So many that Jeff Hammond, one of the crew chiefs, went to David Hoots, who runs the drivers meeting, and he said, David, I don't know what you've been telling these guys, but this morning, change it.
Caution free so far. Michael Waltrip up to 5th place. New ride for him. Mete Motorsports number 7. Now he feels the challenge from Earnhardt as Bobby Labonte slides up the racetrack and out of the lead.
Jeff Gordon takes over the lead, and Mike Skinner follows him right along. So does Dale Jarrett.
Buddy, what happened to Bobby Labonte?
Well, just what Ned said. If you get caught just a little bit out of position, you get a nose up under them, and they're on that outside, and everybody drops to the bottom. You have little to do with where you end up. They just all start going by you.
Front 5 or single file, then it's 2 abreast from there on back. 3 wide in turn 1. Look at this. Robert Presley, 77 in the middle. Sterling Marlin, number 40. Jeff Burton, 99.
And there comes the 98 car, Rick Mast, having a great run here today in the Cale Yarborough car.
A month ago, that team had disbanded. Cale put it back together. They're here.
Yeah, he started 21st, and he's already up to 12th. That's a great run for Rick Mast.
Back from Jeff Burton at 2-time 500 winner Sterling Marlin and number 40. Then Jeremy Mayfield.
Presley is still in the middle.
And now it's 3 wide, even at 6th place. Look at this. Tony Stewart is the man in the middle again.
He didn't want to get back in that position, but there he is.
And
2 rows.
Yeah, 3 wide right behind him, Ned. So Stewart will get a little help from Robert Presley there. Kevin LePage right in that middle. Excuse me, make that LePage rather than Stewart.
Boy, oh boy, those are the 5 cars that have dominated practice. Every one of those cars in the first 5 positions have been the quickest all race week here.
Jimmy Spencer is caught up on the lead draft. He's the 6th place car. Spencer has come from 11th. Let's go to Bill Stevens.
Mike, they are thrilled with the performance of Jimmy Spencer's car all this week. Crew Chief Donnie Wingo has been telling me they have not been able to get that car to move. They've changed everything on it, and it looks finally as if all those changes are paying off here on race day.
A big way as he swings. He's right up in the lead draft.
The biggest thing in that car right now is the man behind the wheel. I'm going to tell you, he makes up about 3/10 of a second just by being determined to move up in the field.
One car backing up on the outside. That could have been Jeff Burton, number 99.
Appears to be.
Yes, way up to the outside. There he is. And he has lost about half a dozen positions on this lap. Number 99, Burton, is falling to the tail end of the field.
We have run 19 laps, and they're still going by Jeff Burton. And the field is still separated by just a little over 4 seconds from 1st to 43rd.
Let's go trackside, Ken Squire.
Jeff Burton broke a valve spring late in the happy hour yesterday, and they were so concerned that they changed all 7 cars, and that includes the 5 team cars as well as the Wood Brothers car. That was another one they changed the valve springs on this morning. Jack Roush was extremely concerned about the motor situation, so they spent some extra time. Wonder about Jeff Burton now. Let's go to Ralph Shaheen.
Well, there's definitely a tire going down. They're not sure which one yet. The crew's waiting the arrival of number 99 here on pit road. They're radioing back and forth to Jeff as he stays out on the racetrack, trying to get him to decide if he can get a feel for which tire it is.
Cars in the top lane have been dropping back a bit. Mike Skinner continues to fight his way along next to Dale Jarrett on the outside, though.
Earnhardt also is dropping back, and you're right, Mike. What happens right now is Mike Skinner is fighting back without any great help. All of a sudden, Dale Jarrett's with him as they head down into turn 3.
Here is Skinner. There's Bobby Labonte with him. Gordon on the bottom now drifting back. Jimmy Spencer comes up for third on the outside.
Skinner made that move going into turn 1 to try to go to the outside. Jarrett didn't follow him, decided to follow Jeff Gordon. It was a mistake because Skinner pulled him right on through on that high side and back to the lead.
21 laps, 3 different leaders, 3 lead changes. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Mike Skinner is the most recent driver to lead the Daytona 500. That's Sterling Marlin on the outside, driving for Felix Sabates, trying to track down Jimmy Spencer in that high line.
Boy, I was just thinking Jimmy Spencer all the way up to third from 11th right now, showing a lot of early muscle. Just behind him, one of the fastest cars in all the practice here, Sterling Marlin.
Marlin, a 2-time winner of the Daytona 500, certainly knows his way around this racetrack.
Bobby Labonte and Dale Earnhardt won the Gatorade 125s earlier this week. They know what it takes to race well here, but we asked them, how easy is it to pick out a partner to draft with?
You know that somebody might help you, and they're going to try to help themselves to go with you, because they know that if they help you, they're going to pass the car also. And whether that's your teammate or your brother or who, you know, I think that's the call they're going to make.
You and I can sit here all day long and talk about we'll work together, we'll do this, we'll do. Man, when there's 40 race cars out there and they get to moving around, you can't get in the line you want to get in. You can't get with a guy you want to be with.
Sounds like he was telling us that right now instead of yesterday.
That's the position he's in. Earnhardt has been there right at the front, but has not been able to get back up there. He's been shuffled back, but his teammate Mike Skinner is up there.
23 laps, caution free. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
The toolboxes are open in Bobby Labonte's pit. He has just called in and said, I have an engine skip. He has changed his ignition system to the backup. So far, no word as to whether that's working or not. Ralph.
Dick, a befuddled crew down here at Roush Racing with the 99 of Jeff Burton. He has radioed back to the crew and said now he does not think it is a tire. The car is vibrating. In fact, at one point, he even radioed in. He had some smoke inside the cockpit of the car, but they keep asking him questions. Do you think it's a shock? Do you think it's in the engine? And he just can't figure it out yet.
That's like calling your doctor on the phone and asking what's wrong with me. All he can do is take the input he gets from you and guess. Look at this, 3 abreast, and Jeff Gordon is the man in the middle between Mark Martin and the 16 of Kevin LePage. He finds a place in line, and they are still 2 by 2 all the way back through the field of the Daytona 500. 24 laps complete. Mike Skinner leads Bobby Labonte. Just outside the start-finish grandstand at Daytona, that square-shaped facility is the Daytona Club, a 1.5-acre tent that's played host to thousands of guests during speed weeks. It has several themed sections, including Italian, Mexican, and continental dining. That overhead shot, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, based in Pompano Beach, Florida. Captain Dan Thomas from Endeavor, Wisconsin, at the controls today. 28 laps into the Great American Race, and Mike Skinner, former pole sitter, has been pulling this 40-car train. Bobby Labonte's Pontiac in second, Dale Jarrett's Ford in third, Rusty Wallace in a Ford, number 2 in fourth. Tony Stewart, there's the outside pole sitter, the rookie in that orange Pontiac, number 20. And Jeremy Mayfield in the number 12 Ford. They've gained a little distance on the field.
Stewart has worked his way back. He had dropped back to about 12th place when he got in the middle there a while back, but has been able to work his way back up there now in single file, running along there in 5th place.
Mike, when we were at the garage area just a little while back, we were told that Tony Stewart and Jeremy Mayfield hooked up in practice. They found a combination. They're going to work together.
And for the Richard Petty and John Andretti fans, the STP Pontiac is being pushed behind the wall. Apparently something went wrong with the engine.
Ken Squire.
Yeah, that's a tough one for them. They've had some motor problems. They got caught in the 125 in the first lap incident. Number 43 came out for this race sporting all Petty blue for the first time since 1971. Thought it might change their luck. Back to when Andy Granatelli first joined the group and put 1 sticker on the car, but apparently luck wasn't a factor today. Engine trouble. They're now showing 4 laps down. Looks like their day may be over.
Those Petty Blue cars have won 9 Daytona 500s. Richard Petty won 7. Lee Petty won the first one. Pete Hamilton in 1970 won it in a number 40 Petty Blue Plymouth Superbird. How about Mike Skinner, first champion of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, up for his second try at Winston Cup racing in his career. The Susanville, California driver, his teammate to Dale Earnhardt for Richard Childress Racing.
You know, he's never won a points race in a Winston Cup car, but he has won twice in Japan in this particular type car. So he knows how to drive, and he has a great crew chief. And I think right now, you know, the same guy that set up Earnhardt's car last year set that car for the 500 here. That would be Larry McReynolds, a member of the Alabama Peach Fuzz gang that included Davey Allison. Came out of the Birmingham short track and rose to prominence here in Winston Cup.
There are 13 cars now, Mike. You can see that train right there coming by that have pulled away. You see the distance back there to that second group. Ken Schrader heads them up in 12th place, but that front group up there running single file are beginning to pull away.
Well, as long as this group, Ned, runs double file, the law of the draft proves that a single file group of cars will be faster than cars racing side by side. That's why this group can pull away. Here's Ralph.
Larry McReynolds is the crew chief for Mike Skinner. And Larry, you're the man, the crew chief, Dale Earnhardt, to his first Daytona 500 victory. Do you have Mike on the same strategy that you ran with Dale yesterday or last year?
Well, you know, we're trying to just stay out front. You know, we watched the Busch race yesterday. Obviously, that's the best place to be, the way things have been going all week. But we just want to be smart. We want to be at the end of this thing, be in position, and hopefully not get shuffled. Like I told the guys this morning, whatever happens this Lowe's team, I'm proud to be with this group. It's an awesome race team. They're ready to win some races.
A little cooler out here today. Has it affected your setups?
Yeah, you know, we was able to put a little tape on the front end. The biggest burden was on the engine tuner this morning. You know, figure about every 8 or 10 degrees, you got to add some jet to these things. So he's the one that had the most sleepless night last night.
And of course, Mike, that will affect their fuel mileage.
Cold air can make more horsepower, but it needs a carburetor adjustment to do so. There's John Andretti in Richard Petty's car being pushed back to the garage. 32 laps complete. Out front is Mike Skinner's Chevy, Bobby Labonte's Pontiac, Dale Jarrett's Ford.
Boy, Tony Stewart caught on the outside again. He drifted high a little bit, and of course they can't wait on him. Even if you're working with somebody, you have to go when the chance comes. You see Earnhardt going by, Sterling Marlin, all these guys will bypass him because he's on that outside by himself.
Stewart just got, as they say in NASCAR parlance, hung out to dry or clothesline. He got out of the line and everybody else went.
Best thing he can do right now is fall in behind that 6 car, Mark Martin, and just follow them along, grab them along, because that second group would catch up with them if they start racing side by side.
And folks, it's not that he doesn't have the power. That's one of the fastest cars here. But when the lead car in that group is pushing the wind aside, the best place you can be is right behind it. Dick Bergman.
Well, it may be tough to find a mechanic on a Sunday afternoon for folks home watching television, but if you happen to be running well in the Daytona 500 as Bobby Labonte is, it's pretty easy to find one. His crew, however, has been worrying and talking over where that skip is from. They think it's possibly a loose wire because it's intermittent. It comes and goes. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett in the 88 car has a bit of a heating problem. His water has gotten up to 220 degrees, oil to 230. That's not good. They told him turn the fan on, cool that engine down.
You ride with Dale Jarrett behind Bobby Labonte's Pontiac. Bill Stevens.
I'm with John Andretti. John, there was a report smoke from the car. What happened?
I'm not sure. We got a problem in the motor department, I guess. Car ran fine. I was just waiting for it to thin out a little bit so we could get moving forward with the STP car, but unfortunately it wasn't our day, so try and get the Petty Blue car in victory lane sometime this year.
Second year in a row, tough break for the 43 car.
John Andretti won here, 4th of July, 1997, driving for Cale Yarborough. A Pontiac, a Chevy, and a Ford lead the Daytona 500. Those are the 3 competing makes. But it's 2 Fords lined up behind that third-place car of Dale Jarrett. Let's see if they can make a move when we come back to the Daytona 500. 34 laps complete. Mike Skinner leads Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett.